Okay, so we got the Battle of Helm's Deep here. We've got 1,500 points in Helm's Deep, and we have 2,000 points of Isengard. What we're looking at in Helm's Deep is we're going to base it loosely off the movie. We've got this warband down here, which is Haldir, Defender of Helm's Deep with an elven cloak. Warband of Galadrim warriors, 4 archers there. We have Aragorn, Strider with a elven cloak. We've got Legolas with an elven cloak. We've got a warband of Rohan archers with Gamling with the banner of Rohan. And over here we have Theodin King with 6 Royal Guard and 6 Rohan with spearmen. And we also have Gimli right there with an elven cloak. What we're going to do on turn 5 or turn 10 is my reinforcements will show up, and that will be Gandalf the White and Eomer with 12 riders of Rohan, and they will show up either on the left or the right side of the battlefield, 6 inches from the border edge of my choosing. Starting at turn 10, we'll roll a 5 or 6. On a 5 or a 6, they will show up, and then each turn that I fail that roll, I add +1 to my roll. So eventually they will show up. For Isengard, they have, I believe, 10 warbands here. We've got basically 2 ladders. We've got a warband of Uruk-hai with shields and a war banner captain. We have a warband of Uruk-hai with pikes. The same thing on this side, except their captain is Ugluk back there, and then just a generic Isengard captain. The front lines here, we have 2 warbands of Uruk-hai crossbowmen here. One is led by Varasku. The other one is led by a generic Isengard captain with a crossbow. Behind them we have a warband of feral Uruk-hai with a shaman with them. And we also have a warband of Uruk-hai berserkers here with a berserker captain, basically a Uruk-hai captain with a 2-hander. Following up the rear, we've got Mahur with a warband of scouts with bows. And lastly, we have this warband here, demolition warband. We've got the ballista. We also have battering ram, and there's a demolition team there. So we've got 2,000 points of Isengard. They're roughly 30 inches away. It'll probably take them about 5 turns to get up to the wall, and then I'm going to give them about another 5 turns to breach the wall before the reinforcements from Gondor, or reinforcements from Rohan arrive. So we will go ahead and film this. It will be me and Brandon. This will be the Battle of Helm's Deep. 1,500 points of good against 2,000 points of evil. Stipulation is, being as this is a fortress or capital, there is no breaking for good in this scenario. We're going to fight to the last man, so evil has to destroy all the characters before they flee the battlefield. The evil can break at 50% and then flee at 25%. But right now they've got 3 times the bow count, and they've got probably over twice as many models on the battlefield, including the reinforcements which haven't arrived. So it should be a tough fight for good, but we'll see what happens. We'll see you round 1. Okay, so we're basically at the end of turn 3 here. First couple of turns wasn't a whole lot going on, so I didn't bother filming it. Basically, Isengard has moved up. I'm using this little dice marker here to mark which turn we're on. We're on turn 3, end of turn 3. Shoot phase has come and gone several times. My Rohan archers up here have not hit anything to kill anything, but his crossbow are within range now. They just decimated my line over there. My Elvish bows, which are few, or only 4, have killed 3 Uruk-hai crossbowmen, but right now the casualty count is way in favor of evil already. So we will go ahead and move on to turn 4, and we'll go from there. Okay, we're in the movement phase of turn 5. Evil 1 priority finally this turn. Good is 1 priority every other turn. But looking at the casualty box here, only 1 more Uruk-hai has died, and all my Rohan archers have been decimated, and 1 of my elves is gone. So we're just the bow count over here with all these Uruk-hai crossbowmen are just devastating. These guys are up to here. Then we've got that group over there that's up to the wall there. We got the feral Uruk-hai coming up this way with the battering ram following up. Down here we've got berserkers, and we've got the detonation charge moving this way. These guys have yet to move. Brandon's still moving them. So we will go ahead and update you probably after the shoot phase in turn 6. Cool. Alright, so we're at turn 6. And just to kind of give you an idea, the Uruk-hai have arrived. They got their ladders up on the walls. We got the berserkers moving up. All the archers move this turn up front. They're getting closer so they don't get to fire. The feral Uruk-hai, the battering team, has arrived on the ramp. And this group has raised their ladders over there. So I'm going to have to start up here on the wall. I'm going to have to start preparing to do some fighting on these ladders. So we are going to have some action. Okay, we're at the end of turn 7. Gonna move to turn 8 here shortly.
Oh, no, wait, we didn't.
Oh yeah, we gotta still roll. We gotta roll a battering ram on the gate, and we got a fight here on the ladder. So we're gonna do those fights, and then we're moving to turn 8. This turn went well for good finally. My archers did get to eliminate a few more of their crossbowmen, and he did not throw well at all with his archers over here or over there. Didn't get 1 casualty with his bows this time, so it was kind of a blessing for good this turn. We do have some fights up here, so the Uruk-hai might be on the wall, and we're going to roll battering on the gate, so we're going to start wearing that gate down. So we'll be moving to turn 8 here after we roll those dice, so we will update you soon. Alright, so we're doing shoot phase here on turn 8. Brandon's doing his crossbows, gathering up all of his hits. Alright, now we got in the ways with the wall. 1 hit the wall and the rest get through. So now we're going to do wounds. Looks like you might get, let's see. I think you need, those are strength 4 against defense 5, so you need 5s. So you got 1. Got 1 kill there. So another elf is down. Oh, another one just fell off the wall. But he's still alive. So we're going to get ready to do fights here. We've got these Uruk-hai coming up the ladders on both sides now. Just a mess of guys coming over. The detonation charge is almost to the wall. And these bows have yet to fire, but we're finishing up turn 8 here.
Let me do something here. This is my captain. I don't want to just be
standing out there? Okay. Alright, we're at the beginning of turn 9. The Uruk-hais are up the ladders on both of these. They're going to be fighting this turn to see if they can breach the wall. The detonation charge here has been placed, so next turn the guy that's black is the firebrander. He can detonate it. Over here, the battering ram is almost through. They got 1 more turn to break those walls, and these guys have all ascended their ladders too. So we're about to do my moves and then shoot phase. It is turn 9. At the end of next turn, we can start rolling for Gandalf and Éomer to arrive. So we will update you at the end of turn 9, start at turn 10. Looks like we got a siege going on. Okay guys, we're back for the end of turn 10. So anytime now, Éomer and Gandalf the White with the horses can arrive. We have some interesting things going on. This guy passed his courage check, rolled to detonate, and he rolled a 1, so it was a dud, so it didn't go off. So he's going to have to try and relight it next turn. These guys up here made some room, but we did get some kills. We got 1 Uruk-hai right here that's still up there. Over here, the Uruk-hai are faring well. They've got 2 Uruk-hai on the wall here. and the elves are running out of room, but we got Aragorn getting ready to basically give up on the shoot phase and start getting into some fights. Legolas will probably stay where he is, taking shots. Down here we're going to start trying to defend the staircase as the Uruk-hai have broke through and they are marching in. So hopefully I can get these units in next turn and start and put some pressure on the rear flank. So we are going to take a quick break and we're going to film turn 11 here in a few minutes. Yeah, you need to do that. Okay, so we're at the end of turn 11 here. I am moving my archers across this wall to get some shots of these Pharaoh Uruk-hai. The Uruk-hai are coming in. They are headed towards the stairs here. This is being held rather well. They just can't seem to get up with Theodin and Gimli holding their own. Theodin did burn a might to win that fight and slay his opponent though, so that might come into factor later. Over here the elves are starting to get outnumbered. The Uruk-hai got 2 on the wall. They're starting to get some spaces. But I got Aragorn over here to help with that. So I now have a chance for these guys to show up with a decent roll. So hopefully my cav will show up. So we will start the next turn. I'll just kind of do a front shot here and you can see the siege that is. Okay, so we're at the end of turn 12 here. Due to the rules, my guys cannot charge the first round they showed up, so I basically showed up over here and dispersed. Gandalf did get a Sorcerer's Blast as he was moving, and he killed one of those Uruk-hai demolitionists over here. The other 2 were knocked to the ground. His archers turned around and laid waste to some of my ponies, and then of course his ballista that was primed ready for fighting just turned and shot and decimated 2 more horses. So that kind of hurts. Up here we went ahead and pulled these ladders up the wall as the Uruk-hai abandoned for the charge. So now they can't assault this side. I've got my guys up on the walls with throwing spears. They're throwing down at the feral Uruk-hai. These Uruk-hai are starting to populate the wall. No deaths over here. They're just starting to get more models on the wall. Next turn I could see 2 more Uruk-hai up there. These archers did well. They shot, and Legolas killed 2 of their crossbowmen. So we are getting those crossbowmen down, which is going to be key. So get ready to start turn 13. Okay, turn 14. My cav, these guys formed up. They moved half their distance, and they all just basically used their throwing spears, and they actually got 2 casualties. And so that helped. Over here, throwing spears in effect, but these guys are still alive. Nothing effective over here. Legolas, Aragorn, and some of my archers up here did dwindle these archers down. So I am making some progress. So it doesn't look as bleak as it used to, but we do have a bunch of Uruk-hai coming in here now. So we will move on to the beginning of turn 14, and good has priority. So we will see what happens now. Got these 2 pikes coming over the wall there. It just kind of looks sweet. The guy peeking over. Alright, we're at the end of turn 14. These guys are still holding their own rather well. Aragorn's finally getting into the mix over there and getting some fighting. Over here, Eomer's cav are getting ripped to shreds, but Eomer and Gandalf called heroic combats, and they were able to kill quite a few Uruk-hai over there on their own. So depending on if we can hold priority next turn, we might be able to get some more damage in. That ballista took out my last charge over there. These guys have decided to go back up the wall as they are starting to gain some ground on the elves. So this is the end of turn 14, and we're going to go to turn 15. Brandon, you're what, about 15, 20 models away from breaking?
14, I think.
Yeah, 14 models away. So if we can still hold on, we might be able to hold this siege.
No question.
Alright, so we're on turn 16. All that's left is Eomer and Gandalf. We had to pull some heroics to get away from them, but they are going to be cornered next turn, so that could be the end of them. I might get lucky though and get some charges and do some stuff. I got some guys coming down this wall here to hopefully help with that. Over here, up here, the ballista fired up here. scattered, came up into the ramparts, killed a Rohan guy and knocked Gimli down, but Gimli avoided the wound from the ballista. Aragorn, or Legolas's meat shield was killed, but Legolas got some shots off, but he didn't kill anything. This guy on the wall here, all these guys are technically on the staircase. We're just laying them down because they don't want to hold on to these steps. But this guy's been defending that really well. This guy up here has been defending. Aragorn and Haldir are starting to wreck shop up here. So we're going to move to turn 17, I believe.
That's his head right there.
Is that what? Okay. So end of turn 17. Éomer has fallen. He was surrounded, and he didn't have any might to bump his roll to a 6. So with the surround, they had plenty of attacks, and they downed him. But the good news is evil is broken. Aragorn and my boy up here, Haldir, have helped kill enough Uruk-hai, and Legolas finished off this captain that was over here. And now Gimli is ready to charge down the stairs and clean shop. So we are ready to move on to turn 18. Evil is broken now, but looks like we may be losing several captains over here. So we'll see what happens at the end of turn 18, or turn 19. Okay, so I'm not quite sure which turn this is. I think it's turn 19. Gandalf the White took just a grip of wounds. He took like 10 wounds. He died. Theodin King lost his fight, so he fell back, but he was able to fade out of death there. Gimli won his fight, didn't strike any wounds. We got over here, we have Gimli still trying to get past those two. These guys are still good on the wall. Legolas lost his meat shield, so he'll be truing up again next round. Aragorn didn't strike any wounds this turn. He didn't roll that well, but that's okay. We'll see what happens next turn. I think we're on turn 20. Okay, something crazy like that. Alright, so I think we're on like turn 22, turn 23. Brandon's 10 away from completely fleeing the battlefield. I'm down to 5 models. The only reason I'm still in the field is because we said that we're going to play the campaign rules, which is when I'm defending a fortress, you have to destroy every one of my models. So I basically have Legolas, who's got like all his stuff spent except he's got like 1 wound. Aragorn's just blown out several stuff, so he's hurting for certain. Haldir's money. And then I got those 2 guys there and there. So, and Gimli down here, and he's burnt some already. So I got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys left. But his guys are starting to flee in droves. So let's see if I can survive. We'll go ahead and do the move phase for Brandon, and we'll see how we fare. What time is it?
It's like 1 a.m.
Is it? Okay.
I think so.
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah, this is like a friggin' 10-hour game.
30.
So it's over just because we said that good could not break. Good was able to hold on. Basically, Gimli charged. We won priority, and he charged Varasku, which took away Varasku's stun fast. And he was down to 2 models, and he just didn't pass his curse check. So Isengard flees. At this point, though, Gimli had 1 wound on him, and no fate. Legolas had 1 wound on him and no fate. Haldir is fine. Aragorn has taken a wound, and he's burned all of his fate. So, I mean, that's about as close as you can get without actually winning. So, it's a good game overall, Brandon.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and post this, and hope to see you guys soon. Thanks.